Hello, Heights of Power just ended, so we are going to be taking a look at a few things in this video. We're going to look at the 7 servers where the bubble for 10th place was 40 million power or greater. I'm going to be taking a look at one in particular server which I noticed did a really good job of just organizing their Heights of Power pushes. And then we'll take a look at the spreadsheet, the heat map, and end off the video with how you can help support videos like this in the future, particularly these Heights of Power videos since they are extremely time consuming. Without further ado though, let's go ahead and get into the first kingdom. And so we are going to go in reverse order here, and as you can see, the 10th place in this Heights of Power rankings is 40 million points. 35 million, 11, 31, 30 million on the dot, and you have a few extra people here just pushing for some seals. I think that the seals of power being a thing here every 5 million power is super interesting, and I'm planning on making a video talking about how I would suggest that you think about this event in the future, like for planning your account and whatnot. Anyways, though, this is just the rank 7 highest 10th place position, so let's move on pretty quickly here. Now in position number 6 we have BTX here with as well 40 million power for 10th place, and you see that there are an additional 2 people that also got the skin but did not get the adornment, and then just a couple of people that got a few seals. And next we have WB's bracket, where the 10th place position was 40.3 million power. You got what's this 4 people that also got the skin, and a few people that pushed for seals. Looks like a lot of people pushed for 1 or 2 seals, which is pretty standard. And you see WB here with a pretty large majority here in the top 10. They got 8 of the positions, so good job to them. They were our allies last season. Anyways though, let's go ahead and move on to rank number 4. And in what may be a surprise to some of you, the rank 4 server for the highest power for 10th place is Echo's bracket here. So you can see 42.1 million for 10th, and they had an additional 14 people that got the skin in this bracket, as well as a bunch of people that pushed for some seals. Not sure what this guy was doing. 17.5 million power. Maybe he thought he was gonna get the skin. That's funny. But yeah, you can see a bunch of people here got the skin in Echo and NF57, so they're gonna have a lot of those skins in the field next season. At least Echo is. Let me just go ahead and count how many Echo got themselves. So yeah, Echo got 17 skins. That's pretty wild. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to the rank 3 Heights of Power bracket. And coming in rank 3, we have this bracket here, 281 through 288. There are a bunch of different kingdoms on this leaderboard. You can see rank 10 is 43.6 or 43.7 million power. And yeah, you got an additional 10 people here that also got the skin. Few people that went for a couple of extra seals, and yeah, pretty competitive leaderboard here. 43.6 million power for 10th place definitely isn't anything to scoff at. Let's go ahead and check out the number 2 bracket. Here we are now with the number 2 bracket. This is primarily the EIS bracket. You can see a couple of people from some other kingdoms in here as well. Rank number 10, 45.8 million power. This guy here, well, that's super unfortunate, just falling behind on that, what would that be, their 9th seal. So that's really unfortunate for that guy. This is one thing that I'm going to definitely highlight in my video when I make it, is like pushing every 5 million power. That's super important now, so yeah, you want to pay even more attention to that than before. But yeah, you can see that 45.8 million power, pretty high there for the bubble, but only 4 additional people here got enough seals to buy the skin. So not nearly as many as some of the other brackets, but it looks like these two guys probably fought it out pretty hard for 10th place, and that might have also influenced a couple of other people to push up a bit higher as well. Anyways, let's go ahead now and check out the number one bracket, or the number one most competitive bracket at least. And now here we are in the most competitive bracket for 10th place. This is 161 through 168. You can see 10th place here is almost 50 million power, which is wild. Yeah, this is a lot of power pushed. Almost enough power push. Like, if you push 10 million more power, 60 million is enough to guarantee the skin and the adornment without even getting top 10. So yeah, these guys are really high up there. If we go ahead and scroll down here, you can see all the way in 22nd place, somebody got 30 million power. So that is a guaranteed skin, or 12 additional guaranteed skins if they choose to buy them. And you got a couple of more people here that of course went for, the 5 million, the 10 million power. It's interesting to see 81 people here got at least one seal. Pretty cool. So yeah, this is I don't know who exactly these kingdoms are, but this is super competitive. It's also interesting to see this alliance here. I'm not sure why they would have chosen to rebuild in this bracket. That seems pretty insane to me, but I guess it's your call. Anyways, let's go ahead now and we'll move on to the one server that I noticed did a really good job of at least internally coordinating their heights of power. And yeah, let's go ahead and check that out. And here we are in the server that I think did a really good job of coordinating with their kingdom who is going to be getting top 10. If you go ahead and take a look in the bottom left there, you can see that yes, indeed, it was NTS. You can see that 10th place, 30.3 million power, 11th place, 10 million power. So they clearly decided internally in their alliance which 10 people were going to push for the skin. That way there wasn't anyone who, also pushed like 30 million power and only got the skin with no adornment. So yeah, this is really awesome to see. You can see that there are a few people here that also pushed to 5 million. Unlucky to see people like this that just barely weren't able to get to that seal. But yeah, 26 people in total getting at least one seal, so not crazy. It's kind of surprisingly low, I guess. Maybe there aren't very many kingdoms in this range. But yeah, there are several kingdoms out there that are in a bracket similar to NTS who had a opportunity to do something similar to this, where they just decided amongst themselves which 10 players were going to push 30 million power to get the adornment or at least the skin. And it's nice to see a group pull it off this successfully. And there may have been additional kingdoms that did this same thing inside of their heights of power pairings that I just didn't catch on to. I just noticed this while I was going through and taking all of these screenshots that yeah, this was a thing. I just noticed it. I'm like, wow, 30 million power on the dot, and 11th place is 20 million power less. That's crazy. By the way, this is going to be a major outlier when I do some stats in a future video, but that's okay. Anyways, though, yeah, really cool to see this. But now I guess let's go ahead and move on and jump over into the spreadsheet. Probably enough time spent in game, so yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And now before I go ahead and show the heat map for this heights of power, I would like to just point out that there is a link to this spreadsheet in the description. If you'd like to make a copy of it, click the link and then in the top left corner press File, then press Make a Copy, rename it whatever you would like, and press Make a Copy, and then that will copy a copy of this sheet onto your Google account, which will entirely be owned by you. There is also in my Discord server a channel where I have all of these screenshots that I pulled this data from that I took a few hours ago. And yeah, that will be available, I think, until the next Heights of Power. And I guess I'll probably keep it archived forever. And if you would like it at some point in the future, you could just ask me and I can make the channel visible again. Well, now without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the heat map. So you can see that there are a lot more servers that are red than the previous heat map, which I just pulled up here. We go ahead and just compare the two. You can just see, like, wow, a lot more people pushed a lot more power this time. Now this is an infantry skin instead of a cavalry skin, so it is a little bit more desirable. I'm pretty sure it was a cavalry skin last time, right? Yes, it was. Right, the Face of Blade sent me the screenshots for it, of course. So yes, this is a infantry skin instead of a cavalry skin, so I think that that's at least more meta demandant, since infantry is always in style. But you can see here that even though there are, or sorry, rather in spite of there being more servers that are red, I moved the threshold for a server to be colored red from 30 million to 35 million. You can see on the previous sheet it was 30 million, now it's 35. And this is because if I made it 30, if we just go ahead and take a look at this working sheet here and we change the conditional formatting to be 30 million, look at how many of these are red. It's just way too many. So we had to make it 35. That way it softens up some of the numbers a little bit more, and we just get like a little bit of a better looking heat map here, or else it would have been like half the squares ended up the same color. So like some of these heavily orangish ones, like you see NTS here, this one was a 30 million power bubble. So like all these orangish ones or heavy oranges like this are about 30 million. Same here with SVR. And then you can see if we take off this conditional formatting, the yellows in the middle here, like IBL, AA, these are about 20 million power. And then like 5 million is these guys here. 5 million or below, I should say, are these guys here that are super, super bright. And then like, for example, Our Kingdom, I think, was around 15 million. So it's a little bit in between the green and the yellow, a bit closer to the yellow. And yeah, I think this heat map turned out pretty good. Now, I will say that in the future, if I do another video like this, we're kind of running out of horizontal space. So I'm not sure what exactly I wanted to do. One thing that I can do is I can go ahead and I can make this a 5 tall thing here. Like I just make another row below this. And I think that that is probably what I will do. And I think that after I make this 5 tall and probably about the same width as this is, so probably 2 heights of power from now, I think that I will change from doing this all in one image to doing it in 2 separate images. Because eventually the image size is just going to get to the point that it's so large that it'll end up looking a little bit ridiculous. Like I guess I could also like Photoshop together that, but I don't know, that might be ridiculous. One thing that I might end up doing too is I might end up like doing this as 1 through 8, and then this as 9 through 16, this as 17 through 24, this is 25 through 32, etc. And then having this be the next thing here. That way it's more vertically tileable, since having a fixed width and going down a vertical axis may be better, but I'm still brainstorming this stuff. So if you have any feedback on how you would like this spreadsheet to look in the future, do make sure to let me know. But as you can see here, we're already getting to the point where like a lot of the names, like here you see WHOG, there's this one MMMM, HOUW. There's a few others as well that are like really squished in there just because the cells are as narrow as they are. Like what I could do is I could double click this and make the cell a little bit wider, but that makes it, you know, offset from all the other columns, which isn't great. But yeah, let me know what you think down below in the comments, how you would like me to continue to do this in the future. And yeah, I'll consider a bunch of different options, maybe do it in 2 different styles or something. This will probably not be next Heights of Power, or maybe even the one after that, depending on how this 5th row ends up looking if we do end up doing that. But this is something to think about in the future, especially if I continue to do this series. And now, speaking of what the future videos like this will look like, let's go ahead and talk about just the feasibility, I guess, of making these videos and what my plans are in the future. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in some of these tabs with the analytics of previous Heights of Power videos. And you can see this video here, about 1,800 views, 107 hours of watch time, only gained 4 subscribers from this video. And one thing I'd like to point out too is that the retention here is pretty bad. There's a lot of spikes from the video chapters, so that's cool, but overall the retention here, it isn't great. And you can see here that this video in the last 3 months has made a grand total of $10 Canadian. And converting that to US dollars, that's about $7.50, since I know that the largest demographic share of my audience is American. Now, with this being said, I think it's fair to note that making a video like this requires a lot of time, because you have to create the accounts, you have to log into all of these accounts either the day of or a few days prior, which I know doesn't sound like a lot of work, but you have to sit there watching the same cutscene over and over again for a little bit under an hour, which that's just like an insanely mind-numbing task. On top of that, you have to take all of these screenshots, and then there is the most time-consuming thing, which is making this base spreadsheet here, which takes a while. You have to go through all of the kingdoms. Now, luckily, since a lot of the kingdoms aren't in KVK right now, or at least they're not in like a limbo stage, you are able to go through for like all of the kingdoms almost, and just go ahead and click through here and like, hey, there's the names. Let me swap to my other monitor and write that in. But it still does take a long time. In total today so far on this video, I've spent about 11 hours, I believe. And if we go ahead and translate that over to this, I mean, that isn't great. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at this other video here for the Heights of Power, this was in December. This one got about 25,500 views, just a little bit more watch time, even though it got 1,000 more views, a little bit over twice the amount of subscribers gained. And the retention here, I mean, it was a lot better. It was 21% instead of 16%. I think the reasoning for this is that this video here was a lot longer, and you can see this was about 11 minutes longer, which probably didn't help. But yeah, I'm not sure what exactly it is that people want for these videos. I'm thinking that maybe in the future as well, something that I might do is just keep it a lot shorter. So this is going to be an outlier, obviously, since we're sitting at the end here talking about it for a long time. But if you have any feedback about like how you think that these videos should be done, let me know. You can see that this video like very rapidly got to about 1,500 views, whereas this one went to about like 900 views here, 1,000 views in the first couple of weeks or so. Another reason for this video getting so many views as well is that this was around Christmas, New Year's, so there was a lot of very exciting things happening around that time. And my kingdom also had like the sneak peek early access to a lot of events, so yeah, it was a lot more traffic than typical, which is why the ad revenue from this is almost double. So yeah, I mean, that's nice, but like still, this video here we're looking at about 50 cents per hour, and yeah, I don't know, like almost $1 an hour. Maybe a little bit more than $1 an hour. Yeah, definitely if you are making YouTube videos like this, it's not explicitly for a good ROI. I do enjoy making these specific videos, but it is extremely time consuming, which is why I'm not sure if it's really worth doing in the future. I think a lot of the problem here is the just the potential view count. I understand that I haven't been capitalizing on my ability to grow by like being pretty inconsistent with video uploads, but even like the max cap for a video like this, let's say I get almost everybody to watch the video that would watch Call of Dragons content, like 7,000 views, maybe 8,000, maybe. I don't know. It's a pretty small thing. So yeah, it's tough to justify the amount of time that goes into it. What I would like to do though is I would like to thank some of my YouTube members here. These guys have been in for a long time here. Jason's been in for a total of 6 months. Doomstar and Renegade have been in for a total of 7 months each. And there were also people like Captain Cod in the past, and a few others who I appreciated when they were supporting the channel as well. And I mean, like, not even were supporting, like, they did support the channel, and I think that's super cool. Now, yeah, I would like to again just say thanks. Going forward into the future, I don't know if the YouTube membership thing, I think it's cool, but I understand like the reason why some of the other people decided to discontinue their membership is pretty reasonable. And like, if we just go ahead, let's filter this not by views, let's filter this by public videos. If we just go ahead and enable that, you can see that I haven't been super consistent. Let's see here. We got 5 videos in April. We got 4 videos in May. A little bit of a blitz here at the end of June particularly, but you know, oh man, I don't know. Anyways, I'm way off on a tangent now at this point, so I guess I'll try to bring it back to my original point. Yeah, if you would like to help with supporting these videos in the future, I did go ahead and I decided to make a like PayPal link. I'll put that in the description if it's anonymous if you would like to help with supporting videos in the future, just to make a little bit more sense to spend as much time as I do on them. That'd be cool. If not, I think I'll still probably do these videos, but I won't rush to put them out because, you know, it's 4 in the morning right now, and I've been working on this since 3 p.m. I have spent 2 hours not working on this, I guess is the best way to put it. So yeah, I've spent 11 of the last 13 hours on this, and I still have to edit it. So that's cool. Yeah, if you'd like to support this type of content, that would be highly appreciated. Let's go ahead and just pop in game here, I guess, so that the last little bit of this video makes a little bit more sense with the outro. Now, I did push 5 million power, as you noted, or you may have seen earlier. So I did get a Seal of Power, and I also got this 30-day city theme here, which is kind of funny. Now, I am probably not going to be using this ever. I'll probably just be holding on to it in my inventory, since, I am a hoarder. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I will be making a video both on the power pushing from this here, and I'm going to try to make that video at least about this power pushing, including when I pushed and actually got the city theme, since that's something that somebody pointed out when I was watching Chiscool's live stream. It's like, hey, why did you do this? And yeah, that's a pretty good point, even though it's like super late now, 9 months late. Makes sense to consider doing that. And I will also be doing a video just talking about my entire thought process and what I would be doing if I was planning ahead now and I didn't have tier 5 unlocked yet, how I would be thinking about these seals of power, and how I would go about pushing power and like staggering growth in these like 5 million power intervals to either guarantee a city theme or guarantee or at least attempt to get a city theme and an adornment. Anyways, that is it for this video. Definitely pretty rambly here at the end, so I guess it's pretty standard for my videos. We get into some of the things that I don't particularly enjoy talking about or feel the most comfortable with. Asking for stuff. Yeah, anyways, that's it for this video. I think it's valuable to create the spreadsheet, at least create the heat map, create the tool there which people use, and yeah, I guess it's probably worth doing. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.